It's been said that good things take time. Time to grow, time to rest, even doing nothing takes time. If I'm being honest, I'm not really a patient person. I'd like to think I am, and maybe in some ways I do demonstrate patience. But I think inwardly, I hate waiting for things to finally go my way. It seems no matter how much time passes, the only thing that grows is my doubt. Which begs the question, do good things really take time? But that's not where our story starts, because our story starts here, alone, with a vision for something that doesn't feel possible. Often I find when I'm starting something new, the process in turning this vision you have to reality is often very, very lonely. You're the only one that really understands the vision. And when reality doesn't meet that vision, well, it all falls on you. I have found that often in this time, anxiety, fear, frustration, sometimes even sleepless nights creep up on me. And it feels like most people won't clap for you or congratulate you because it's something that you have to go through alone. And while that sounds really daunting, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. No one ever really tells you how lonely pursuing something can be. That's why I've always admired artists like Van Gogh, Basquiat, and Picasso. At the time they were ridiculed, made fun of, and even bullied for doing something new. But they continued. They didn't allow the pressure of society to get to them. I wish I had some fancy way to say that the lonely phase of the process is important, but I don't. To be honest, it sucks. It's probably the hardest part. It's often where most people give up. But for those that continue through it, they learn something about themselves that they couldn't learn anywhere else. With a resolve that can't be shaken, that this thing that they're pursuing is what they're meant for. Recently, I've been embracing this idea that failure is success. I used to beat myself up a lot when things would fail or wouldn't turn out the way I was hoping for. And that would ultimately sweep all the momentum out from under me, and I would give up. I think a lot of us can find areas in our lives that we'd like to be further along in. And no matter how far we've come, we still feel like we're a little behind, ultimately trying to play catch up. Sometimes I find this mindset adds unnecessary pressure to my choices, which makes failing feel even worse. I started to change my outlook at failing. What if failure was successfully identifying the next step forward, learning what works and what doesn't? I know it sounds cliche and probably a little annoying, but it's exactly what I started to do. And it felt like I had gained a new freedom. Failure was more of an outlook, often grounded in a hope for a future that wasn't often realistic. Instead, I started to change that outlook. Each choice I made, whether it worked or it didn't, got me one step closer to my goal. I think one thing I want to say really quickly that I just thought of as I was filming is that my style has ultimately come from time. I just think about when I started versus where I'm at, and if I was to get all the success right away, I would have the success, but I wouldn't have the style. I wouldn't have the thing that makes me, the unique aspect that I have that you guys appreciate, because that's come through failure, that's come through learning, and that's come through all the time I've spent learning and growing in this field. There's no doubt that starting something new requires a lot of time and effort. It's actually funny to think about how many times I've tried something new and I haven't been able to give it my full attention. And that's why I've partnered with Brick to sponsor this video. Brick is a physical device that temporarily removes distracting apps. It's quite simple. All you have to do is tap your phone and the apps that you choose are blocked until you tap it again. So use the code in the description below to get 10% off, and thank you Brick for sponsoring these videos. My journey has been long and honestly really tiring. I've had to deal with comparison, failure, frustration, and so much more. I get it, I genuinely do. It can be hard to not rush things when it feels like things aren't working out and haven't in what feels like forever. Time is an odd thing. A year looking forward seems so long, but looking back, it seems like a year went faster than I could have ever imagined. In a lot of ways, I wish I was further along. I wish I had more subscribers, I wish I had more views, I wish I had more money, and I wish I had started earlier. But the reality is, I didn't. This idea that it's okay to go slow sounds nice, but put into practice, it feels impossible. Trying to take comfort in a motto when it feels like everything around you is falling apart is hard, but that doesn't change the truth of it. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to learn. It's okay to practice and fail. It's okay to have vision while everyone else says it can't be done. It's okay to give up and try again. It's okay to be older and restart, and it's okay to have gone the wrong way and turn back. When I started making videos, I started with the idea that I was the best. And as I put my hand to it, I quickly learned there's countless other filmmakers that know so much more than me. And that's okay. You see, your strength isn't in how much you know or how quickly you get somewhere. It's found in your story, the journey that you've embarked on. Failure isn't things not working out. It's not sharing your story with others that need it, because it's not how quickly you get somewhere. It's simply the story of how you got somewhere. And ultimately realizing that it is okay to go slow because everyone has a different story. So this video felt more like a journal entry than a polished, edited YouTube video. It feels like I'm kind of peeling back the layers of my life and sharing them with you. And the video title, It's Okay to Go Slow, actually came from a note that I wrote my girlfriend, who had just finished taking a course in Spain, teaching English as a second language. And she was about to apply for jobs and try to get like her dream job. And she learned that she had to get surgery on her knee. And the healing process was gonna be anywhere between like 3 to 6 months. And she wasn't gonna be able to work. She wasn't gonna be able to move around. She simply was gonna have to stay still and heal. And I think that information started to creep into her mind and it started to scare her. And I remember I wrote on this little piece of paper, it's okay to go slow. And now that we're post-surgery and in the recovery phase, it's really clear to see that she literally can't do anything and she relies heavily on other people to help her. And I think that's been really interesting for me to watch because I feel we do live in a world that constantly promotes going fast, non-stop, constant like grinding, and those that go fast win and those that go slow lose. And it's kind of a motto that sounds really nice, especially if you're not where you want to be because it's like reaffirming. But in the day-to-day practice of it, I think it's really hard. And I think it's something that needs to be practiced and you need to just be okay with. Even this video has taken a long time to make because I've been so busy taking care of my girlfriend, making sure she has everything, surgery, dealing with pain. All of this stuff has made this video kind of go on the back burners. And I was starting to get really, really stressed. Like I need to get a video out, I need to get a video out. And I looked over and saw that piece of paper and I just realized like I'm allowed to take my time. That I've been fed this idea that I have to post every week, I have to do all this stuff, and I just don't think that's the most healthy. So if you've made it this far, that means you are a part of the 20% of people that watch my video all the way through. I would love for you to leave a comment letting me know that you are a part of the 20% family, and let me know what you think about with the idea that it's okay to go slow. Is it something you struggle with? I know that I'm still learning it, so it feels disingenuous to be like, you should do this, 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 but I'm just here for the process and I'm inviting you guys in. Also, a lot of people have been asking me how I make my videos, how I color grade, lighting, all this stuff. I actually have a link in the description that talks about how I make my videos, so if you want to learn, just hit that link. And guys, I'll see you in the next one.